Hi everybody, welcome to Yellow Hawk Customs Outdoors, and this video is going to be about sharpening, okay? Specifically field sharpening, because that, honestly, that's where it counts, okay? I'm going to basically disregard all of the bull crap that I've learned over the last 45 years in the field, okay? I'm going to throw it out the window, and I'm going to share with you the stuff that actually works, okay? Now, disclaimer, this system philosophy works for me, but I can't imagine why it wouldn't work for you too. I can't imagine, all right? You're a person just like I am. You got hands and fingers just like I do, all right? You know, bar any completely atrocious physical deformities or whatever, basically you can sharpen in the field just like I can, okay? And if you are handicapped or whatever, you're challenged in some way, you've already figured out a way of doing it, okay? So, this video is going to be me showing you a no bullcrap way of getting your knives super sharp in the field with very little effort or material. You guys stay tuned and we'll get right to it. Now, my philosophy to sharpening my edged tools is real simple. I want it to work well, and not spend a lot of time doing it, okay? So, over the last, I don't know, 40 years or so, I've developed a really simple philosophy on sharpening my edged tools. And depending on how far I want to take it, there's only two things I use in order to sharpen my edge tools. My knife, my axes, whatever, okay? And that is a diamond stone or rod and a strop, okay? Sometimes I will also use a ceramic. It depends on, you know, exactly what I'm doing, how much time I have, you know. Because here's how I do it. In the field, when I'm using my knife, now this is a Clint Armstrong French trapper, okay? I traded somebody something for this blade, a sheath system, and I'm going to build a sheath system for it and then sell it, okay? So I've done a couple of modifications on this knife. Number one, I made it a super sharp 90-degree spine. I mean, it is super sharp now, right? It doesn't take much to get sparks off a ferro rod now, okay? So I did that, and I also changed the edge a little bit, okay? I made it my personal low shoulder convex grind, okay? And that is not the purpose of this video, to teach you how to do that grind. I'm just general sharpening, okay? I'm going to tell you what happens when you use certain implements to sharpen with your knife, and so let's start, okay? first of all, you got to pick a decent diamond sharpener. Okay, now, I have my favorite diamonds to sharpen with. However, cost has nothing to do with it. I have purchased $5 diamond stones that work just as good as a $90 diamond stone. Okay, diamonds are diamonds. Now there are really cheap, crappy diamond hones out there. Okay, not to bash on Schrade or anything. Okay, but the ones that they give with their knives sometimes. Okay, this is a cheap diamond stone. I bet you they pay $1 for every one of these. Okay, now does it work? Sure it does. Okay, but the diamonds wear off really quick, and they wear off so much so that I just don't trust them after a while. Okay, it's like all the diamond stuff comes off of them, and that's not my experience with most diamond sharpeners. Most diamond sharpeners, even a medium grit diamond sharpener, will feel kind of gritty when you first get it, but as you use it, it wears down to a fine, and then an extra fine, and that's what you're actually looking for in the field. Okay, but you know, there are really, really cheap diamond sharpeners that you want to stay away from, but I couldn't tell you which ones they are. You're just going to have to like trial and error it. Okay, now I can say this: I get my diamond stones on eBay. Okay, this one here is probably my favorite one to use. Now I have Falk-Niven DC4s, right? I have a Easy Lapse CD4. I have these guys here, these fine diamond sharpeners. But this is one of my favorites, and this one and this one, the ones I put on my sheath systems, are also two of my favorites. Okay, this one here is a little heavier grit than this one. Okay, this is the standalone diamond sharpener that I have to put a handle on, and this is the one that comes with a a frame to it. Yeah, I like them both. If I had to choose between them, it depends on what I'm doing. I like them both, really, honestly. Okay, but if I had to choose, I'd go for this guy, the standalone. It's a little finer. And from the get-go, it's easier to sharpen with this, but I tell you, there's virtually no difference. Once you wear this one down, okay, once this one wears down, after 6 or 7 sharpenings, it's like this one. Where is it? It becomes like this one, okay? So they both get finer and finer and finer, so they're great. What I really like about this one, the one with is it's multifaceted. It's a multi-use thing. Okay, it's got a fishhook sharpener on it. It's got a flat side and a round side and a serrated knife sharpening implement, which is the conical shape here. Okay, so this one's more versatile. That's why I put it on most of my sheath systems, where a person will order a diamond rod. Okay, but these are great too. I love them. All right. This one here, they're both about the same weight. Okay, let's see if I can find it. I don't know where it is. Okay, the Lansky Tactical Sharpener. Okay, I know it's popular among guys. Okay, I don't like them because they're too heavy. Okay, and this one here is the same rod that they put in that system. The very same. Okay? So, I don't know. I had one here. I don't know what the hell I did with it. I had one. Where the heck is it? I'm looking for the end of it. I don't see it. Okay. Alright, so anyway. So these are my favorites. Okay? To use in the field. Okay? This one or something like it. Okay? Generally, I'll use the rods, though, because they're already on one of my sheath systems, okay? Here's one here that I picked up on eBay that's really cheap. I think these are like $7, $8, okay? These are great diamond sharpeners. I love them. They're cheaper, you know, budget, but they're not cheaply made. You know what I mean? It does, the diamonds do, and this is a double-sided too. It's got a fishhook sharpener on it too, right? And one side is about an 800, the other side is about a 600. But like I said, they'll get finer as you use them, okay? And I tell you, I really like them, all right? This is a really nice field sharpener that you're not going to spend a lot of money on, and it's going to last you a while, okay? Just look at it. All you got to do is go on eBay, punch in, you know, search diamond sharpeners, and eventually you will find this, okay? There's also a smaller one that comes with it in some of those listings, right? So I really like this one, okay? If you want me to, I could put this on a sheath system too, okay? However, this one's more convenient and more versatile, all right? You get what I'm saying? This one can be easier for some guys because it's got a flat surface and it's wider than the diamond rod, okay? But all sharpening, especially hand sharpening, takes practice, all right? So this one here, then you got the spider coat double stuff, right? This is these are both ceramic, right? It's got a coarser and a finer, right? So this is basically just a honing stone, okay? When you're done getting it super sharp, you either strop it or you take it to a ceramic. I like both, depending. It depends on the situation. Here's what happens with a ceramic, okay? When you're finished sharpening, if you look at this edge under a microscope, and you're done sharpening with your diamond stone, right? And you look at the edge underneath a microscope, okay? You're going to see valleys and peaks, like little mountains, right? All along the edge, right? What happens with this is it takes all those extra pieces of steel that are kind of burred up and, you know, and straightens them out, okay? It takes off very, very little steel, okay? But what it does is it straightens that edge out and makes it more precise, like a precision edge, okay? And it will, in effect, make it sharper, okay, by doing that. All right? So when you're done with the ceramic, you can feel it. You can feel it's more sharp than it was before you used it, if you use it correctly. Now, that's it. That's what I use. And a strop, okay? I take a piece of leather out in the field, right, with white or black stropping compound on it, and I strop with it. Put it on a picnic table and okay? If you're having a problem with it sliding all over the place, just put your thumb on one end, okay? And strop that way, okay? All right? So let's do something. Okay, so I've showed you some of the stuff, right? I'll show you a few more. This is, now, like I said, when it comes to diamond stones, really, the money you pay really doesn't matter too much. But you got to watch out for the really cheap ones, like I showed you already, okay? But even these Schrade diamond stones will work, right? They just don't last very long. I mean, if you look at it, I've already scratched off down to the plastic. Well, down to the base layer. There are no diamonds in some areas there, right? It's just totally scraped off. I think it's like an electroplating process, and they just don't have it down, or wherever they buy them just doesn't have it down. You know what I mean? Most places do, you know, the electroplate process or whatever the bonding process is to actually put the diamond particles on the steel. Works pretty well for most sharpeners, okay? I showed you this, guy. This is one of my favorites, man. This thing will put an edge on your knife lickety-split, okay? Most ricky-tick, right? All right? So, anyway, so let's do it, okay? Let's actually sharpen. Now, let me pull this forward a little. I'm going to put this down so you guys can see, all right? This is a Clint Armstrong, you've already seen it, French Trapper, okay? Nice knife, right? Quality blade. Clint makes really nice knives. Maybe one day he'll build one for me and I can review it and check it out and tell you what I think about it. This is one I traded for, and I'm going to build a sheath system and then sell it, okay? This style of blade is not my favorite style of blade, okay? I don't like these broomstick style handles, okay? However, a lot of guys do, and I do not knock it. It's a great knife, okay? It's just not my favorite, okay? I have my favorites. Delta Whiskey Infinity, the Foreign Hawk, the Little Hawk Necker, right? This guy here. This is built like by Brian Sells. This is our Necker, the Yellow Hawk Customs Outdoors Necker that he builds for us. Well, actually, he builds it for you when you order it from him, okay? Then he sends it to me, and I build the sheath for it, okay? So anyway, Clint Armstrong, French Trapper. Now, I've modified the knife a little bit. I put a really, really sharp 90-degree spine on it, and I changed the edge to my low-shouldered convex grind, okay? Which I get better performance out of that grind, all right? So, I'm going to go look through my diamond stones. I'm going to pick one. Okay, so let's just go with this one, okay? Right? Now, this thing's already pretty damn sharp, okay? Now, the key to finding the right angle, okay? I know guys say you put it flat on there and you lift it up until the shadow is gone, okay? I don't do that. I feel for the edge, okay? I look at what angle I want to put on that blade. Because a lot of times, I personally change it from, this is Peter Kohler Dark Timber Honey Badger, okay? And it's got that same edge that every other knife maker puts on their knives, okay? This production V edge, they're easy to do, it's a versatile edge, okay? Fairly strong, but you can get it sharp pretty quick in the field, that kind of thing, okay? Well, I change this in every knife that I personally use in the field, okay? Even Mike Wallace's blades come with this, okay? And I change them. It's just a personal thing for me, okay? I like my edge a little more slicey. I like to slice with it better than this will allow you to, okay? So, I take that V grind off of there and I put on a low shoulder convex grind. Now, this is kind of a rough grind right now. I have not polished it yet, okay? So you can see it. All right? So, and this is how I do it, okay? It's real simple. Now, if I don't do it on the work sharp, I'm going to do it in the field, right? I'm in the field and I'm sharpening. I'm sitting at a picnic table and I'm just feeling the edge, okay? I'm feeling the edge. Okay, you can take the steel to the diamond stone, or you can take the diamond stone to the steel. It doesn't matter, okay? But choose something and get good at it. Most of the time, with this sharpener, I prefer, let me get the smoother edge, okay? I prefer holding it like this and getting an edge this way, okay? Now, as long as you're in the vicinity, okay, I find my edge by that angle, okay? And my angle's a little shallower than most, okay? So I have to reprofile that V edge. So I'm going to make it a little shallower, and I'm going to sharpen until I have the edge that I want. If you already have the edge that you want, then you just follow that edge. And it's real simple. I'm not going to sharpen this knife. It's not mine, okay? But when you put it on there, when you put that edge on the steel and you sharpen, do one stroke and then look at the edge and see where you're taking the steel off at, okay? Do another stroke, look at the edge. And if you are increasing that bevel, then you need to let up on that angle a little bit. You need to bring it up a little bit more so that you stay within, okay, the shoulder, which is the outer edge here, right, and the actual edge, right? You need to stay between there. And it's real simple. You just look at the edge as you're working, right? But I go and I change that grind. So, and it takes me a little while to hand sharpen that V grind out, okay? And get it to where I want it, and then I strop it, okay? Then I strop the blade. Now this is a very sharp knife right now, but it has what I call a toothy edge, a rough sharp edge, okay? Because that's what the diamonds do. Unless I'm sharpening with a 3000 grit diamond stone, which you can get them, okay? There are 3000 grit diamond stones out there. Relatively inexpensive, okay? Unless I'm using one of those, I have that toothy, rough edge. But it's still very sharp. And the way you tell how sharp it is number one, you take your thumb and you go against the grain of your fingerprints. Go against the grain. If you feel that really rough, you know, rough pull to it, it's sharp. And that's another thing you're just going to have to practice, okay? There's another way that you can tell how sharp it is or how clean the edge is by running it on your fingernail like this, okay? And if it catches anywhere, and this is catching all the way down, it's catching. I can feel it. You can see it. There's no glide there, okay? It's catching everywhere. You can feel it, all right? That's because it's a toothy sharp edge right now. So let me finish this up a little bit, right? You can also use a stone, right? You can also use a stone and put it on a rubber mat. Okay, this is the material that you put inside your tool drawer to put your tools on so they don't slide around in the drawer. Okay, so I just put this guy here. It's a double size, 800 and 1200. Okay, and sometimes I go forward, sometimes I go backward. It just depends. Okay, depends on what angle I'm at, what surface I'm on. Okay, but you can go back and forth too. Okay, and keep looking at that edge. You can tell where you're taking the steel off. All right, and you can tell how far up you're taking it off. Okay, you can go back and forth. No big deal, guys. Don't let anybody say, or don't let anybody tell you you can't go back and forth. That's just twice as fast. You're sharpening that thing twice as fast. Okay? Now I suggest when you get down to where you're going to finish the blade off, just go one way. Okay? One. Okay? This is when you're ending the sharpening process, okay? You want to keep that steel going the same direction, all right? All right, now that's pretty damn sharp, all right? Pretty damn sharp. Now this is how I get the convexness out of it, or into it, all right? I'm ready now to strop, okay? I'm done with my diamond stone, and I'm ready to strop. Okay, so this strop's been used many, many times. So I'm going to take some of this black off and reapply. This is just a razor blade, okay? Industrial razor blade, and you scrape that shit off of there, and you reapply it, okay? Now I do this a little different than most people, because my strops, because they are a piece of leather, and I can get to both sides, have a smooth side and a rough side, okay? So here's what I do, all right? I'll use both sides with or without the same compound. It depends. If I don't have any white, I'll use black. If I don't have any black, I'll use white, okay? It just takes a little longer with white. All right? All right, so most of this is scraped off, and with it comes some of that nappiness, okay? That's already on the leather. It's nappy, okay? So it takes some of that off, which is okay. As long as it's a stiff piece of leather that doesn't, when you do this, or actually when you're drawing it towards you, like this, okay? When you're doing this, as long as it doesn't buckle like that, it's stiff enough, all right? Alright, so, let me get this crap off of here. Everything goes on the floor in the shop, and then the pixies clean it up. I love them pixies, man. They do a good job around here. Okay. Boom. Alright, so, nice clean strop, and I can load it with compound again. This is just white, okay? And this is how you do it. You just scrape it on there, all right? Now, white is going to be harder to see than the black. If you want to strop quicker, use black. It's more coarse, okay? But eventually, this white will turn black because of the steel that is coming off the knife, okay? All right, so then you start stropping. And the way I strop is I start stropping, right? Then I increase the angle a little bit each time until I get a scrape, okay? Okay, now this is sliding pretty good, but I don't want that slide. I want it to scrape. There it is, okay? Right on the edge, I got the scrape, so I know I'm getting that edge. All right. Hear it? Instead of this, you got that edge scrape, okay? That tells you you're getting the edge, all right? And you can start to see that you're polishing that rough, sharp edge out. It's polishing out, okay? And the more you strop, the more polished that edge is going to get. But the other thing is, the more convex it's going to get too. So you got to be careful. Don't scrape really, really hard every time, because you're going to keep it convexing and convexing and convexing until it doesn't cut very well. Slice, until it doesn't slice very well. The purpose of this low shoulder convex grind that I put on is to make them good slicers with a strong edge, okay? Meaning they don't chip or roll very easy, okay? So you got to be careful how much you convex the edge, because if it's getting too convexed, you're going to have to take it to the steel again, the diamond stone, and flatten it out a little, okay? Which I have no problem doing, right? You take it and you flatten it out a little. Keep some straightness to the edge, but still a little convexed, okay? All right, so between those two implements, you can get a really sharp edge on a knife. Let's see if it's sharp enough to shave hair yet. Let's see. Yep. Alright, it shaves hair. Alright. Now, it'll shave even better if I keep doing it. Alright. But I don't really want to keep doing it too much. Alright. Or it will continue to convex that edge, and slowly but surely that good slicing ability starts to come out of that edge because it's starting to convex too much. Okay? You want a low shoulder convex grind. Okay? Which basically it's a V edge, right? It's a V edge. Okay, and these are the shoulders right here. It's a V edge with a little bit of shoulder to it. Okay? That makes it convex. All right? But not as convex as a true convex edge, right? Because to me, a true convex edge is too convex, doesn't slice very well, okay? Now, Bark River, they do a really good convex edge, all right? Theirs is a slicing, I call it a low shoulder. They do it automatically. It's not too convexed. Okay? And as you do it, it'll polish those scratches out of there. Okay? At the very edge. In order to get all the scratches out of there, you're going to have to polish that edge too. Like this. Alright? Because if you continue to strop it that way, it's going to get more and more convexed. And you don't want that. Alright? So that's pretty simple. That's about as simple as it gets for the field. Okay? So this is a very sharp knife now that I think anybody in the field would be proud of. Alright? Okay, guys, that's it. It's really simple, right? Let's go over it again. Diamond stone or rod. Okay, you can use a rod. Okay, you can use one of my standalones or the one with the frame, right? And the more you use it, like I said, the more it wears down and becomes finer and finer, and it's easier to sharpen them. Not as much work to actually get a fine edge out of it. Okay? Now, that made the edge rougher, but it's still very sharp, and then you strop it, right? Okay? So, diamonds, doesn't matter. The manufacturer really doesn't matter too much, okay? The reason I use these on my sheath systems is they work well on the sheath systems, and they work in the field. you can actually sharpen a knife with these rather easily if you know what you're doing. And it doesn't take long to figure it out, okay? And if you just can't get the hang of using a rod, then say, hey, Doug, I don't want a rod. Put a stone on there, a diamond stone. I'll make a little holder for it and put it on the sheath. Okay, maybe put a DC4 in there, or maybe one of these, or whatever. We'll figure it out. And I will say this, okay? It really does not matter the type of steel. Here's the rule, okay? This is my rule, real simple. Diamonds cut steel, period, okay? Diamonds are your most effective sharpeners in the field, meaning they take off more metal than anything else, okay? They don't take off gobs of it. I mean, you can sharpen with a diamond stone or a diamond rod easily in the field, no matter what the steel is. Doesn't matter whether it's CPM 3V or 1095, okay? Now, yes, absolutely, 1095 is going to sharpen quicker, okay? But diamonds pretty much make short work of CPM 3V and the other super steels as well, okay? Just takes a little longer to do those steels. They're harder, right? They're tougher. All right, guys? So, doesn't matter the steel, just takes a little bit longer. Now, if you're trying to sharpen CPM 3V in the field this way, right, and it's not working, then you don't have the angle right or something wrong, right? This takes practice, but once you get it, you got it. And you can do it by hand, by feel, every time, all right? So, I'm going to go back to sharpening. Okay, you can hold them, put them on the ground, put them on a flat surface, sharpen that way, right? And just keep looking at that edge. Keep looking at it. Don't just keep sharpening. You're not going to know what you're doing. You got to look at the edge. Feel it. Become one with the steel. Become one with the edge. So, if any of you guys are interested in this knife, it's a Clint Armstrong French Trapper that I've modified a little bit, okay? Made it more effective, in my opinion, okay? It's got a sharp 90-degree spine now. I have taken down the ricasso so that the edges are not as sharp, so it doesn't chew up the Kydex when you take it in and out of the sheath. And I put my low shoulder convex grind on here. When you get it, it's going to be nice and polished, okay? It's going to be razor sharp, and you're going to love it, okay? So there it is. It's a sharp-looking knife, man. This is quality. Micarta scales, brass pins, lanyard hole. This is the quintessential traditional looking French Trapper. It's got that Scandi grind. Now it's got a Scandi Vex on it. Okay? Alright, guys. Okay, this is Doug Wilson for Yellow Hawk Customs Outdoors. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Yellow Hawk Customs Outdoors. Combat and wilderness grade custom knife and sheath systems. We've got the badass gear for the badass outdoorsman. Yellow Hawk.